Good day, good day, good day, everyone. Yes, we're early today because Mama got things to do. Mama got things to do. So, we are going to continue our monotasking and we're going to get into deep work. And I have the perfect example today. I want to share a story about David the cat, how it relates to multitasking and the power of monotasking and deep work. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. Good day. I am Red Melissa. This is Morning Sip with Red Melissa. SIP stands for Spirit and Practice, where we practice because practice makes progress. So we are live. We are early. I am in Alabama. Yesterday, I packed up Zola and we stayed overnight in Alabama and we're going to hit the road and go to Atlanta to pack up Aria and it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But let me tell y'all what had happened. We are in our monotasking series, right? We're in our monotasking series. Hey, Sekou, I'm early today, and I got a story about Davy the cat. And you know the story because I think I shared a little bit with you. Good day. So, this is what had happened. We're talking about monotasking because we know that multitasking is not a thing. Multitasking is a myth. What we really do when we think we're multitasking is we are task switching. So we are switching between one thing and the next, one thing and the next. Quickly, we are doing this, but the human brain cannot focus on two complex tasks simultaneously, but instead switches back and forth between the two. There is a very, 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 very small percentage of people who can actually multitask on complex things. Most of us task switch. And the problem with task switching is that it gets to exhaust the brain, right? It causes mental fatigue. So that's what we've been talking about all week, right? But today I want to get into another aspect of multitasking, not multitasking, another aspect of monotasking, and it's called deep work. Deep work. And let me give you what the definition of that is. Deep work is a state of intense, distraction free concentration on a single cognitively demanding task, representing an advanced form of I keep saying multi, of monotasking that advances productivity. So, deep work supports maximizing productivity through monotasking. And so, we know that monotasking is how we can work most efficiently and get more done, right? We think by multitasking that we'll get more things done. That is not the case. It is monotasking where we get more work done. So let me share a story. So since we're traveling, we had to drop off Davy the cat at Fee and Sekou's house. So this was on Wednesday. And so Marco was going to take Davy to Sekou and Fee's house on Wednesday. And Marco was on a tight schedule. I was on a tight schedule. So the deal was have Davy ready by 11 o'clock so Marco could be out the door on his way to drop off Davy the cat. to Sekou and Fee by 12. I had a client at 11:30. You know, I finished SIP around 11. So we have like not a lot of time. I had maybe 10 minutes because I ended the show on Wednesday about 10 minutes early. So I had packed up Davy's food and his cat litter and all the things. The only thing I didn't do was bring up his carrier, because when he sees his carrier, he knows something is about to go down and he does not want to go. At least he thinks he doesn't. So it's a whole thing. So what I've started to do is not to bring his carrier upstairs until we're going, or I'll bring it out like a week before and I'll just leave it there. And he'll be seeing it for days and it's like, what's happening? I don't know, right? And then, he'll forget about it. So on Wednesday, having no evidence that anything was happening, this cat would not get out of his cat tree. I went so far as to keep my suitcase out from when I came back from Laguna Beach, because that's the other clue for him. If he see our suitcases, he's like, something's about to go down, right? So I even left my suitcase out from Laguna Beach, right? So that's what, like 2 weeks ago, left it out. This cat would not come out of the cat tree. He was like all the way in, curled up in a corner. So I'm trying to coax him out. Davy, 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 come on, baby, let's go. Let's go. He's looking at me like, I ain't going nowhere. Time is going, right? And so I'm thinking about my client at 11:30, not wanting Marco to be late to get to his appointment at 12, not delaying Fee and Sekou by Marco getting there after 12. I'm thinking about all these things, right? Task switching, multitasking, attention split in all kinds of directions. And I just keep going with it. And I could feel myself getting a little frustrated because this cat would not come out. So I said, okay, let me go get him some food. So I get him some food, bring the food upstairs. He doesn't even smell the food. He just looked at me and I was almost like I could read his mind. He was like, girl, you don't never bring food up into this room. I knew something was up, right? And he just dug in deeper. He was like, no, I am not coming out. So I said, okay. So I tried talking sweet to him again. I went and got one of his toys to see if he would come out and play with the toy. Nothing. This cat was giving me nada. You hear me? Nada. So I said, all right, I got something for you. I got something for you. So I went and I got a spray bottle. Yes, y'all. I went and got a spray bottle, put water in the spray bottle. And I said, I'll spray him with the water and then he'll jump out of the tree because most cats don't like water sprayed on them. So I said, that's the plan, right? Now, time's are ticking. It's like 11:20 now. Marco's like, what is going on? I text my client. I'm like, girl, I'm going to be late. And I'm like, Davey, I need you to cooperate. So I spray him twice. Do you know what this cat did? This cat hissed at me. Davey has never hissed at me. And like his eyes, I was like, ooh. I was like, ooh, let me take a step back. Let me take a step back. And he did not come out of the tree. With all of that, he still didn't come out of the tree. I said, okay, fine. Let me go downstairs. Let me calm myself down. Let me give him a minute to regroup. And we're going to figure this out. So I was like, went downstairs. I took a couple of deep breaths. I'm telling y'all, it was a thing, Sekou. It was a thing, right? So I start thinking, how could I get this cat out of this tree? Because we got to go. And then I hear the voice. He's feeding off of your energy. go upstairs, sit down on the bed, because I was in the girls' room, he's in the girls' room. Sit down on the bed and just relax. Just relax, right? So focus on one thing, Davy. Focus on the feeling, love, peace, harmony. Because the feeling that I was feeling was anxiety, frustration, like we got to go, that kind of hurried energy. And that energy don't feel good. And animals are very, very tuned in to our energy. So I said, okay, all right. Fee said he's watching you now with his eyes pressed tight. I have a video of him watching you and listening to your voice. Oh, Davy baby. That's my Davy baby. So I go upstairs, I sit on the bed, and I take a couple of deep breaths, and I'm like, focus on him, focus on peace. This is what we do when we do deep work. We focus, we hone in, right? We take monotasking to a deeper level by being fully present without any other distractions whatsoever. And we make ourselves present. We get present with our thoughts, our feelings, our emotion, and physically, we are present to one thing. And I was present to one thing, Davy the cat. So sat there, did some deep breathing, and don't y'all know, Davy the cat jumped out of the cat tree and jumped onto my lap. I started just rubbing his head, just rubbing him. And I said, I'm sorry for spraying the water on you. You good? And he started purring. And Davy's a great purrer. Whoo, he could purr. It's like loud. So he's just purring and he's good. And I was like, okay, we're going to go now, baby. And he just sat there. I picked him up, took him downstairs, put him in the carrier, zipped it up. We out the door, right? Now, how long did that take your thing? That took less than 5 minutes for me to gather myself, sit my butt down, do some deep breathing, send love and light to Davy. Davy jump out the tree on my lap, rub him a little bit, and we downstairs in the carrier out the door. It took less than 5 minutes. I wasted 25 minutes prior to that trying to get him out of the tree and got hostile towards him by spraying him with water. And that's what we do. That's what we do. We get all riled up, right? When we have something that we need to get done and we feel pressure because we might have missed the deadline or the deadline is looming or someone's waiting for us to get the information to them so they could do the next thing. We get all caught up. We get in a tizzy, right? And we're not present. We are task switching between this thing we have to get done and then the next thing or the thing that we didn't get done. We are not focused. We are not present. And we are not doing deep work. So deep work invites us to really be with ourselves and the work, whatever that work is, from a report to getting your cat out of the cat tree. It all works together. So I'm going to share a couple of more things with you about deep work. I hope that example really paints the picture of the power of being present and monotasking versus creating a tornado instead of creating a tornado of task switching through the myth of multitasking. So I want to share this with you. It's deep work and monotasking. They're key connections. So you'll know me, I do some research, but this is just a sip. It's just a sip. So the foundation. You cannot engage in deep work without monotasking. It is the ultimate expression of single tasking. Deep work removes the attention residue. Remember attention residue. Attention residue is the result of task switching back and forth. And what you were working on before, the residue of that is still present with the thing that you are doing now. It causes your brain to leave a small portion of what you left behind. So it removes attention residue that occurs when switching tasks. Cognitive depth. This is important. Unlike simple monotasking, deep work specifically requires pushing cognitive capabilities to their limits to produce high value, hard to replicate results. And I think the example of Davy is a funny, practical example, right? Eliminating distractions. That's what we have to do. We eliminate the distractions. Deep work goes beyond just doing one thing. It requires a distraction-free environment. So for us, it's like turning off the notifications on our phones. It's putting it on do not disturb. It's setting an alarm for 30 minutes so that you can really focus and tune in. Structure. It relies on scheduling dedicated, uninterrupted, and often repetitive time slots to create a habitual state of flow. So deep work and being in the flow are hand in hand. I got into the flow with Davy. Davy got into the flow with me. That flow, the flow of chaotic and the flow of peace. Whatever the flow is, we want the flow of peace and harmony, don't we? Yes, we do. And then the outcome. Both methods, meaning monotasking and deep work, when combined, boosts productivity and diminishes the errors associated with so-called multitasking. So that is what we get to do. We get to hone in, right? Heighten our cognitive focus when we are doing deep work by focusing on one task, eliminating distractions, tuning into the feeling tone, being fully present with it. And it doesn't take a lot of time. As I just shared, all that time trying to get him out the tree, 5 minutes of me shifting, and he just came. So we get the work done. We get the work done. So set one goal, right? Focus on completing that one specific complex and high value goal per session rather than trying to clear a to-do list. Focus on one goal. The goal was to get Davy out of the cat tree into the carrier. Not to get ready for my client at 11:30, not to make sure Marco wasn't late to his appointment, not to all those things. I was scattered thinking about all of that, the impact of all of that, when my single focus was to be in harmony so that Davy will feel the peace and come to me. That's what we get to do. That's what I can control. I couldn't control Davy getting out of the cat tree. I could not. It was evident. But what I could control was how I was showing up, how I was holding it within myself, how I was thinking about it, how I was treating Davy, how I was treating myself. All of those things I could control. So we can choose peace and harmony. We can choose to take a pause. We could choose to know that it's going to work out because it already is. If I bring myself to this monotask deeply within myself, that's what we get to do. That's what we get to do. So I know that it is 10:30 right now. In Alabama, it's 9:30. And so if you're just joining me on Morning Sit with Rev Melissa, watch the replay because we're about to wrap this up. I came on early today, Pamela, because Mama got things to do. We're heading over to Atlanta, getting on the road soon to pack up Aria. We packed up Zola yesterday. So that's what's happening. That's why I was on early today. So please watch the replay. I tell a hilarious story about Davy the cat that you know, Pamela, because I shared it with you too, about Davy the cat and getting him in the carrier so that we could get on the road and do the things that we need to do. All right, y'all. So let me do some quick joy news. Let me check in with you all. Fee said, great example. I believe I'm a great monotasker. Through the myth of multitasking, my brain has not yet been able to enjoy one thing fully. This is very interesting. Fee, that is such a great point. And we know how we can start to shift, right? By practice. So the more you focus and practice monotasking, the more your brain will rewire itself. Our brains rewire. New neural pathways develop throughout our life. Our brain never stops developing. So I love that you share that, Fee, that your brain has not yet been able to enjoy one thing fully. Keep practicing on one thing, and your brain will just ease right into that. But it takes practice. Takes practice. Hey, Linda, good to see you. Yes, I'm glad you happened upon me to watch the replay because I came on early today. So the one thing that I want to share today, because I really do have to run, is our Sunday service this weekend. Please join us. We have a guest speaker, Rev Mignon Pollard, who is an amazing speaker. We are virtual this Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, rocklandcsl.org. You can go to the website, rocklandcsl.org, for all of the information. Or you could also scan that QR code right there. So rocklandcsl.org or scan the QR code. All right, y'all. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for jumping on early. Fee and Sekou with Pamela. Appreciate it. And I will see you all next week. So we'll be here in the South doing our things. My niece Sydney is graduating from college on Saturday tomorrow. So we're celebrating with her for the weekend. So lots going on here in Georgia, Alabama, and being with family. And I'm so grateful that my mother, because my mother is here as well, that my mother will spend Mother's Day with all her 4 children, because my brother lives in Atlanta, and then my other brother and my sister, we live in New York. So we'll all be together here in Atlanta on Mother's Day celebrating my mother. And I'll be with my babies and they can celebrate me, right? So to all the mothers out there and to all who mother, right? Because you don't have to have birthed a child to be a mother. So to all mothers out there who mother, those who are tuned in to divine feminine energy of intuition, of nurturing, of wisdom, of groundedness. Blessings to you. Happy Mother's Day. And I will see you all very soon. Peace and blessings, peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.